What is going on, everybody? How you guys doing? My name is Yugioh, and I want to welcome you guys back to another video on the channel. Today we got a non-competitive deck to show you guys. This is my World Chalice deck that I've recently just built, reconstructed not too long ago. I recently picked up a copy of this the World Chalice this year, whatever it's called, and as you can tell, it came out of that new set that just came out. I forgot what that set is called, but I picked her up because I didn't have her in the deck at all, or in the collection at all. But I figured I would kind of like revamp this deck, just as a fun deck to play. This isn't competitive at all, but I wanted to see what it could do. It's okay. It's definitely, like I said, it's not competitive at all. If you take this to locals, you definitely will lose. I would highly suggest staying with Orcus, but if you want to try a fun deck to play, definitely give this a shot. This is just a whole link spam type of deck. I remember when this deck first came out, it was highly competitive, going up against Sky Striker. This is one of the top tier decks, but now, it's kind of hard to get around winning with this deck because there's just so much link spam, and this deck gets Ash Blossom, Joe, and Lockbird a lot. So, but like I said, if you definitely want to give this deck a shot, go right ahead. It's definitely for the fun purposes. But let's get into the deck profile. So for starters, we are playing 3 copies of Crowned by the World Chalice. This is one of your main starters in the deck. I know it kind of sounds weird by saying that one of your normal monsters is a starter, but honestly, one of the main starters in the deck, because you're going to be focusing on playing your Link World Chalice monsters that are in the deck. And yeah, this is just one of the World Chalice starters that you play. I played 2 copies of Beckoned by the World Chalice. The reason why I'm playing 2 of these is because although it's still another starter, I still want to see Crowned, which is basically Ib, because she is a better target for your linked fodders. But the reason why we play 2 of this is because you still want to have a starter at the end of the day, and it is a level 4, so you can kind of get some more plays later on. You played 3 Chosen by the World Chalice. You just played 3 of these because, once again, this is another target in the deck. It's a nice level 3 and it's a psychic card, which is very important for one of the cards that we play, which is Emergency Teleport. So if you don't see this in hand, but you do see the Emergency Teleport, this could become a really good starter later on. Well, when you first start playing in your turn, and hopefully you do not get Ash Blossomed or anything like that. But these are your main starters in the deck. After that, you're playing 3 copies of World Chalice Guard Dragon. Like I said, this is a fun deck. If you're trying to play this competitive, I'll definitely recommend you only playing 1 or 2 copies. But the reason why I played 3, like I said, is just because it's simply just a fun deck to play. But I will go ahead and read this card out to you guys. It says, when a card effect is activated that targets your link monster, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, negate that activation, and if you do, destroy that card. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target one normal monster in your graveyard, special summon it in defense position to the link zone, to your zone a link monster points to. You can only use the effect of Guard Dragon once per turn. So not only is it a negate, but this is also another special summon when you need this to be, just by getting rid of this card itself. So you can play 3 just for the fun purposes of it, but honestly, it could become a break if you don't use it at the right time. So that's why people play 1 or 2, but I'm just playing 3 for the heck of it. But yeah, it's a pretty good card overall. Next, we're playing 2 copies of Lee the World Chalice Fairy. People, I'm letting you know right now, if you're taking this competitive, play 3 of this. This is basically your best card in the deck for the World Chalice engine. It says, if this card is no more special summon, you can add 1 World Chalice monster from your deck to your hand. If this card is in your graveyard, send 1 monster from your hand or field to the graveyard, add this card to your hand. You can only use the effect of Lee World Chalice Fairy once per turn. So not only is this basically a Stratos of the deck, this is basically one of your main starters to get one of your normal monsters, and then you could go for your link climbs from there. I believe that this card should always be at 3, but the reason why I have 2 is because I only have 2 at the moment. But if I was to take this deck competitive, I would definitely be going to TCG player and getting another one. But just for the sole purpose of this not being one of my main decks, I'm just sticking with 2. Next, we're playing basically one of your other best cards in the deck, World Legacy World Chalice. Guys, I can't stress enough you needing 3 of this card. Let's go ahead and read this to you guys real quick. It says, If a monster is special summoned from your extra deck except during the damage step, you can trade with this card. Send that monster to the graveyard. You can only use each of the following effect of World Legacy World Challenge once per turn. If this face-up normal summon card leaves the field, you can special summon 2 World Chalice monsters from your deck except World Legacy World Chalice. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can balance this card from your graveyard, add a World Legacy card from the deck to the hand. So this card is just it's a really good synergy card on the deck, because once this card gets sent to the graveyard, you're automatically prone to getting any of these from deck to field, which also provides you extra opportunity to go into any link plays, which is basically the main point of the deck. So you play 3. Next, we're playing a Kaiju engine of Doggeran and what's his name, Candelara. The reason why you're just playing these is because we play Kyudu's Waterfront in the deck. So this is just a little tech that you used to play when this deck first came out back in 2017. The only reason why I still have it in here is because I don't really have hand traps for this deck. Like I said, it's a fun deck, so I really don't care. But this is just a fun engine to play when you're just playing casual. It annoys the hell out of your opponent, and it's just a really annoying type of tech to play against your opponent. They really hate this tech. And sometimes even competitive decks or modern decks nowadays are not ready for something like this because nobody really expects it. So just play this engine. We're playing Sphere Mode. This is just Chibi Father. Honestly, this is one of the most annoying cards to play in Yu-Gi-Oh! This is something else that your opponent does not expect because nobody ever plays this card at all. But I just play one because it's just kind of funny to play, honestly. Next, we play Exodius. This is one of your main pieces to the deck because not only does this recycle the normal monsters in your graveyard back into the deck, but you basically get a free special, and plus you get the link dissolve for something else you need in the extra deck. So this is basically a recovery, basically a Pot of Avarice special. Use this as a link material and get into any link monsters you need. So 1 is fine, 2 is better, but it's up to you. Next, we play 1 Chaos Hunter. This is one of the hand traps in the deck that I am playing because it's just another beat stick in the deck. It's just simply another beat stick. That's pretty much it. I would play 2 in the deck, but honestly, like I said, this is just for fun, so 1 is fine. For the spells, we were playing 3 World Legacy Heart. Let's go ahead and read this for you guys real quick. It says, target 2 World Chalice monsters in your graveyard with a different name and add them to the hand. If you linked link monster would be destroyed by battle, you could banish this card from your graveyard and banish it instead. So this is basically protecting your link monsters while being basically a warrior returning alive. If y'all know what that card is, basically what that card did was take a warrior monster from the graveyard and add it to the hand. But in this case, you're taking 2 World Chalice monsters from the graveyard and adding them to the hand, which is such a big plus in this deck. So you play 3 of them. Next, we are playing 3 copies of World Legacy Discovery. You want to see this card as well when you first start off in the game. That is why I'm playing 3. A lot of people not play this card at all or play it at 1. I don't understand why. But to give you guys an idea of what this card does, I know my sleeves are absolutely dirty, but we're going to ignore that. It says, all World Chalice monsters on the field gain 300 attack and defense. Once per turn, if a face-up World Chalice monster you control is destroyed by battle or leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you could target 1 World Chalice monster in your graveyard, special summon in defense position. So, pretty good field spell overall. You kind of want to see this card first turn because you want to obviously link spam the hell out of the deck and also have this card on the field as a protection. We played 3 copies of Kyudu's Waterfront. This is for your Kaiju play. Let's go ahead and read this to you guys real quick because it seems like nobody knows what these cards do anymore. Because you notice a lot of people playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2022 and up, not in 2017 or anything. So let's go ahead and read this. It says, each time a card is sent from the field to the graveyard, place 1 Kaiju counter on this card for each sent card, which is a maximum of 5. Once per turn, while 3 or more Kaiju counters are on this card, you can add 1 Kaiju from the deck to the hand. If this card would be destroyed by a card of fake, you can remove 1 Kaiju counter on this card instead. Basically for self-explanatory. So not only is it a rota for your Kaijus, but this is also a recursion card for itself. So it's pretty important. And you play 3. Just play 3. Next, we're playing 3 copies of Emergency Teleport. This card is so important in the deck because you do play Chosen, which is a psychic. I can't tell you how many times this card saves the deck. But let's read it real quick for you guys. Special summon one level 3 or lower psychic monster from your hand or deck, but banish it during the end phase. You do not need to worry about the end of the effect because you're going to link off Chosen anyway. So this card just is so important in the deck, you need to play 3. Next, you're playing 1 copy of Reinforcements of the Army. In other words, Rhoda. This is also your searcher. You're going to end up searching your copy of Beckoned, which you only play 2 copies of. And plus Reinforcements of the Army is at 1 anyway, so I would play 2 if I needed, but I can't. 1 Foolish Burial, because you do want to see a couple of your World Chalices in the graveyard, simply because you do play World Legacy Heart, which allows you to add 2 of the World Chalice cards to the hand, and plus you want to gain the effect of World Legacy World Chalice 2 as well, which becomes important later on in the game. You play 1 copy of Monster Reborn. This is also another recursion to go into a link climb. Self-explanatory. 1 copy of Dark Hole. I love this card. I know a lot of people don't like to play this card nowadays because it can get negated, but this card does come in handy. You can either bait somebody, or you can either usually get this card to activate and resolve, so which is annoying either way for your opponent. So play this card, it's pretty good. 1 Pot of Avarice. This is your recursion. Just like you were playing Exodius, you want to play Pot of Avarice to put back all your normal monsters and all your World Chalices back in the deck to restart for next turn, and also have a draw 2, which is very important in this deck. Next, we're playing 1 Dark Ruler No More. I literally just picked this card up not too long ago and just ended up putting it in this deck. The reason why I'm just playing 1 is because you don't see this card being played that often, and it's for a very valuable reason. But it does negate everything your opponent has on board, which is so broken. But it's up to you if you want to play this card. I do play it as a nice tech, but it is what it is. For the last part of the spells, we're playing 2 Unexpected Die. If you control no monster, special summon with level 4 or lower, no more monster from the deck. This is basically another way of using emergency teleport, or whatever that card is called, just for normal monsters in specific. I would play 3, but 2 is fine, so it's not too much of a hassle. For the trash, we're playing 2 copies of Solemn Judgment. This card is absolutely, it's very important in the deck, put it that way. It's just your negate in the deck. I don't have impermanence at the moment, so these will do. And then 1 Torrential Tribute. You're gonna notice this deck a lot getting absolutely burnt because the deck is not competitive at all. So you want to play 1 Torrential Tribute just to get rid of your opponent's board, which comes in handy. That's for the main deck. Let's get into the extra deck. We're playing 1 copy of Ib, the World Chalice. I don't know how to pronounce that. Justy? I don't know. Anyway, we'll play 1 copy of her. She's a level 5 tuner, synchro. Her effect states, for this synchro summon card, you can treat 1 World Chalice monster you control as a tuner. You can only use each of the following effects of Ib, the World Chalice, once per turn. If this card is synchro summon, you can add 1 World Legacy card from a deck to your hand. If this synchro summon card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 World Chalice monster from a deck or graveyard, except Ib World Chalice, whatever that name is. So it's pretty good. You usually just play this card at 1 because at the end of the day, this is a World Chalice deck, so you're gonna use it for its destruction effect. But yeah, she's pretty good. You're playing a copy of the World Chalice Guard Dragon. This card is absolutely broken. I don't understand why this card is not even played, even in it's Orcus decks. I think this card is absolutely broken. But it states, must either be fusion summoned or special summoned from your extra deck by attributing the above cards you control, in which case you do not use polymerization. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls, 1 each. When the attack is declared involving this card and opponent's link monster, you can banish 1 link monster with the same link rating as that monster on the field or graveyard, destroy that opponent's monster, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack. This card is absolutely busted. I know it was very popular back in 2017 because links were just starting to get used, but links are still being used nowadays, so it comes in handy. Next, we're playing 1 copy of Mech Knight Crusadia Abramax. Card is absolutely busted. We play 1 copy. I don't have Nagirsu at the moment, So Avermax is basically a boss monster in the deck, but you definitely want to play one copy of this because at the end of the day, Mech Knight, Orcus, World Chalice is definitely cards that go together if you make your personal deck correctly. So you play one of these as a boss monster. We play one copy of Uram, the World Chalice Blade Master. This is basically one of your recursion type of monsters in the deck. And you play one of this for that reason. Play one copy of Lib, the World Key Blade Master. Very important in the deck. I see this card being played with Orcus. It's definitely a go-to card for your deck. If you guys don't know, the main effect of this card is during your main phase, you can summon World Legacy, spell trap card directly from the deck, but it cannot be activated the turn while you have no World Legacy monsters in your graveyard. If this card is if this link summon card is sent to your graveyard as a link material, you can shuffle one card from the field into the deck, which is also another important way of sending or composing one of your opponent's cards back into the deck, which is important. We're playing the Priestess in the deck. She's definitely another way of recursion in the deck as well. Just play one copy of her. We played 3 Imduck. This is your main link monster in the deck. This is the way you link climb to your other link monsters. You play 3 copies of this for that reason. You're going to use all 3 copies in one turn. I guarantee it. It happens all the time. So you play 3 for that reason. For the other link monsters, we're playing Firewall Dragon Singularity, and we're playing one copy of Firewall Dragon. Firewall Dragon used to be absolutely broken in this deck back in 2017, but ever since the errata, you kind of need another Fire Dragon in the deck, so Singularity is where it comes in. But Firewall Dragon is just another tool of link climbing nowadays, so you use Singularity just as a boss monster. We're playing Underworld Goddess of the Chaos, whatever that card's called. This is basically not only get a ring of your opponent's monsters as link materials, but it becomes a 3000 attack boss monster. And is basically a negate, so this card is busted. Nightmare Package, Unicorn, and Phoenix. Destruction effects, very important. And the last card in the deck we're playing is Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. You do have dragon cards in this deck, so you have... Hold on, where we go? Yeah, 1, 2, 3... Hold up. I know I'm not tripping. Okay, you only have 3, but that's besides the point. This card can still get summoned out into the field, and this is also a way of boosting your opponent's cards back into the, hand, which is very important. So play one of this. It's very important. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below on this deck. I think this deck is absolutely fun to play. It's not competitive whatsoever, but it does get the job done when you're playing it casually. So, yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.